Hello children, how are you? It's your first lesson here with Mrs. Edlin on our YouTube channel. I'm very excited. And today I'm going to be sharing with you this story. Now some of you might have seen it before because I did read it to you on the Facebook page last Friday. But for those of you who didn't see it, I'm going to read it again. And then we've got an art-based activity that's linked to it. So some drawing and colouring for you today. In the beginning, there were 3 colours: yellows, reds and blues. Reds were the loudest. Yellows were the brightest. And blues were the coolest. Everyone lived in colour harmony until one day when a red shouted, "Reds are the best!" Oh dear. The yellows disagreed. "No, we're the best because we're the brightest." The blues were too cool to even respond. The colours decided to live in separate parts of the city. So look, the reds live in Redville, the blues live in Bluetown, and the yellows live in Yellow Heights. But one day, a yellow noticed a blue. And something happened. "I feel so happy when I'm with you." "And I feel so calm when I'm with you." Yellow and blue became inseparable. Life felt so vibrant. But not all the colours were happy about it. "Colours shouldn't mix." "I don't like yellow's effect on blue." "But blue isn't bright enough for yellow." But yellow and blue loved each other, and so they decided to mix. Together, they created a new colour. They named her Green. Green was bright like yellow and calm like blue. But really she was a colour all of her own. Everyone was fascinated. Even the grumpy colours fell in love with Green. There she is, a little baby Green. And the colours began to see new possibilities. Soon other colours mixed and mixed and mixed and mixed. There were so many new colours and a lot of new names. "Be careful, Jade. Don't forget your glasses, Lavender. Have fun, Amber." The old neighbourhoods of Redville, Bluetown and Yellow Heights didn't make sense anymore. Everyone wanted to live together, and so they rebuilt the city. There it is, look. We're going to come back to that in a minute. The new city was full of colour. It wasn't perfect, but it was home. And look, you can see all the different colourful dots going about their day and mixing together really peacefully. Okay, so I've got a couple of tasks for you to do today, and I will tell you when you might want to stop or pause the video and come back to it either later on or another day, so that you've got some activities to keep you going. Now the first thing I'm going to do is think about colour mixing, because our 3 colours, yellow, red and blue, are what we call our primary colours. And if we start to mix those, that's when we get different colours. So today you could have an experiment with your paints and see what happens when you mix red and yellow, when you mix yellow and blue, like in the story, when you mix blue and red. What happens when you mix all three? What happens if you make a new colour and then mix some more in? What happens if you mix white with any of these colours? What happens if you mix black with any of these colours? So you could have your first activity, if you want to, could be to just look at colour mixing based on our primary colours and see what you end up with. And if you'd like to pause the video now, you could pause the video, have a go at some colour mixing and then come back for the next activity. Our next activity is linked to drawing, and we're going to draw one of our mixed characters. So I'm going to show you how the illustrator of the book drew the tiny dots. And it's quite simple, but also a bit of fun too. So we're going to start off with a circle. And there's mine. And then I'm going to add some little legs, which are like a line and a little circle on the end. So nice simple shapes. Now our mixed character's arms are a line, and then they have 5 lines coming off them. And on the end of each line, they've got a tiny circle like that. So that's what their arms look like. I'll just do one the other side too. So I did a circle, a line and a circle for the feet, and then a line for the arm, 5 fingers, and 5 little circles on the end. So that's what our mixed characters look like. And if you look really close, you'll be able to see that there with yellow with his little fingers too. Now, my next step is to add some character. So I'm going to draw his eyes or her eyes and the nose as well. And again, 2 more circles for the eyes with a dot in the middle. And the nose is just another little circle. So lots of circle drawing today. Now I'm going to add the mouth. Mine's going to have a smiley mouth, yours doesn't have to. And some eyebrows. So that's my mixed character. But to add some more character, I could give it a little jaunty hat. I could even add some glasses if I wanted to. And you might want to do that with your character too. So I've given mine some glasses. You don't have to. Mine has got glasses. Mine looks a little bit like he's got a mask on, but we'll go with it. So there's my character. Now, when you've drawn the character you want to draw, I want you to give some real thought to what colour you would make yourself. So you can give this a bit of thought. So for example, I'm going to choose my Alice. And if I was drawing Alice as one of the mixed characters in the book, I'm going to remind myself what happens when green is created, when green is born. Because what they say about green is that she was bright like yellow and calm like blue, but also had her own personality too. And Alice can be a bit like that because Alice is really loud like a red, but she's also quite bright like a yellow. And she's fun too, and she's talkative and she's quite creative. So she's got her own character too, but she's very much a mixture of a red and a yellow. So I'd probably colour Alice in orange if I was going to create her as a little mixed character. Now I've just scribbled on mine to be quick for you, but obviously you can colour yours in a lot better, or you might want to use some of the paints you've mixed earlier. Now I wonder what colour you would be and what character you'd create. So that's your first or your second task if you want to do that. And if you want to have a go at drawing your own mixed character, you can pause the video now and then come back to it to do our last activity for today, and it's still linked to drawing. Okay, so our last activity is linked to the city. I think I said this on Friday when I was reading the book, but actually the city that Mixed is in, or the story is set, reminds me a lot of the Lowry picture and the Lowry inspired picture that Mrs. Crace showed you a few weeks ago that some of you had a go at drawing. And I thought that because the lines are quite simple, they're really clear, bold shapes, And then we've just got our colour injected as our characters as well. So I thought it'd be really great if you had a go at creating your mixed city. So you could do a little bit like one of our Year 6s, Luke did. He drew a Lowry-inspired picture, and then he's put people in it that he knows. Well, you could do characters that you know and think about what colour all your family and friends might be too. Okay, so if you want to draw the city, the first thing you could do is drawing some buildings. There's rectangles involved here, and in fact they're pretty much all made up of rectangles. So your first step will be to do a base and then draw yourself a rectangle. Now if you're just sketching, you don't need to use a ruler, but you might find it helpful to use a ruler if you feel you need to. So that's step 1. And then step 2 is to add in lots of windows. I'm drawing a high-rise building here in my city. So I'm going to do a nice pattern of rectangular windows. They don't have to be perfect by any means. So there's my windows. Now I could then add things in as well. So I could do another building really similar, but I could just do windows on the top half. And I could add in a little pergola, like a bit like a shop really. So I could add in, now if you do it with pencil you can rub out the other lines. I could add in a little archway and a door there. And I might want to add some bricks or some detail to my door as well. So that's up to you. But you could do different types of house in the city. You might want to add some bricks with your pencil as well, maybe at the top. Again, that's up to you. You might want to give it a bit more of a sort of roof on top too. So you could do lots of different houses, lots of different buildings like that, and you can add some in of your own. Another thing that you see really clearly in the city picture, and I'll just show you again, is a lovely car at the front, and I quite like that. So I thought we'd have a look at the steps we could take to draw the car. So you start off with a semicircle, and then what you'll need to do is rub out with your pencil and make that top bit a bit flatter, like so. I'm just doing it in pen so you can see it really clearly. And then you're going to use 2 triangles. So you're going to have a triangle here and a triangle here for the top of the car. And then you can do your little mixed character inside. There he is, got his nose. So he's driving. And then you want to add on to the bottom, you want to add your wheels. Now they've done their wheels like little archways. You could do the same, and I would imagine you'll do a much better job than I've done. You can add in your door and then maybe some lights as well. So you could do a little mixed character car, and the other thing that's in the picture are some trees as well. So let's have a look. Can you see here? They're just made of lines and an oval shape. So there are like this, just a line for the trunk and then some lines coming off of there for the branches. Here a bit. And then around those I've got an oval. So that's what the trees in the picture look like. Obviously the trees won't be taller than the building, so you might want to work on a bit of perspective and think about how big the trees will be compared to the buildings you draw. And then there are other things which you can include. So there's, if you wanted to challenge yourself, look, there's a bridge here. The shop here has got a name on the window, and so is this one, Sprinkles. I think that sells ice cream. And there's some kites here. There's a sunshine. So you could add a bit more detail to the picture. And actually, if you pause the video now, you'll be able to use the picture that's on the screen to help you. Okay, so task 3 today is to create your own mixed city using those step-by-step instructions. And I wonder what your city would look like. I wonder if you'd name it. And I wonder what characters would be living in your city. So 3 tasks. First is to have a go at some colour mixing. Look at what happens when we mix those primary colours as a starting point. Have a go at designing your own mixed character and think about what colour you might be. And then have a go at designing your own mixed city. You could give it a name. You could add your friends and family into the picture too. And if you really want to challenge yourself, you could then write a story that happens set in your city. So lots of things to keep you going and lots of artwork to practice. Have a really, really fun time doing it. If you want to send me pictures of your work, please do. You don't have to, but if you'd like to, then I would love to see them. Have a fun lesson, everybody.